What is up, everybody? This is Lyle with No Hippie Barbecue, and what I'm going to be doing today by request from Death Before Dishonor are going to be some black bean burgers. Now, this isn't something that I have a recipe on myself or anything that I whipped together, so what I did was I went online and I'm melding about 3 different black bean burger recipes in my cook here. The ingredients I'm using are going to be pretty simple. Why don't you come on in and take a look at these ingredients. These are the list of ingredients we're going to need for these black bean burgers. I'm not going to go over the amounts right now, but if you look in the description below, I will have the amounts in the description. So we have some black beans, and I've already rinsed these black beans off. We have some whole corn, or not whole corn, we have some kernel corn, and I drained these off. I'm using some jalapenos. Most of the recipes I saw had green peppers, but we're going to go with the jalapenos. We're going to be using some onion, garlic, 1 whipped egg. I'm using panko breadcrumbs. I've seen all different kind of breadcrumbs. This is what I had on hand. We have some chili powder, cumin, salt, and pepper. And that's going to be for our burgers right here. And then for our sauce, we have some mayonnaise. We have some chipotle peppers and adobo sauce, lemon juice, cilantro, and we're going to add a little bit of salt and pepper to taste as well. We're going to be topping these with tomatoes and onions. That's it. We're going to keep it pretty basic. First thing I need to do is we need to go ahead and get these beans mashed up. Now I'm going to be using a potato masher to mash these beans up, but a fork or anything that you have that's going to break these beans down should work. And once I'm done getting these beans mashed up, I'm going to go ahead and set them aside, and we'll start working on the rest of it. Now, I did leave a little bit of texture with these beans. I'm trying not to have them be like, you know, refried beans or anything like that. Now what we're going to do is get our onions, jalapenos, garlic. The garlic doesn't necessarily need to go in there, but I'm just going to throw it in there anyway. And our corn in the food processor. And we're going to have this in here until it's finely minced up. This corn is an addition that I'm making that I saw in a few recipes, but not a lot of them. So I'm just eyeballing this. All right, let's get it going. So that is about what we're looking like right there. What I'm going to do now is transfer this to a wire strainer, and we're going to push out all this moisture. So now it's time to go ahead and play with our food. What I've done was strain out all the liquid from the peppers and corn and everything that I had in the food processor. So that is pretty dry about now. I may save some of this liquid for that sauce we're going to be making. I'm not sure about that. So anyway, we got that. We're going to go ahead and add our seasoning in, our salt and our pepper, our cumin, and our chili powder. I'm just going to kind of go ahead and work this in. And I'm just using the same skillet that I plan on cooking the burgers in, just so I can have one less thing to clean. Alright, so let's go ahead and add our egg in. And our breadcrumbs. I'm just going to mix this in until it becomes somewhat formable. Almost like we're going to want something almost like if you were to make like a Salisbury steak or meatloaf or something like that. Alright, this looks good to me. My wife is going to go ahead and hand me this pan so I don't need to wash or take my gloves off or anything. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to form these into some burger patties.
That smells good.
Yeah, they do smell good.
It does smell good.
So I'm going to form these into burger patties, and I'm going to put them on this sheet pan with some parchment paper. And I did spray it down with a little bit of canola oil just in case. And once I'm done making these burger patties, they're going to go in the refrigerator for about, I'm going to let them sit in, actually I'm going to throw them in the freezer, and I'm going to let them sit in there for about 30 minutes just to kind of firm up a little bit before we go ahead and cook them off. Let's go ahead and get this sauce made up. Got our mayonnaise. We're just going to go ahead. You could use a blender. I happen to be using a NutriBullet or something hippie like that. Gonna throw some of these chipotle peppers and adobo sauce in here. Little lemon juice. I would have gone with lime. I just didn't have any. Cilantro, you can never go wrong with cilantro. And now, this is a salt, pepper, garlic seasoning that I made up, so just gonna throw a little of that in there. Let's go ahead and blend it up and see what we're tasting like. All right, let's give it a taste. Good to go. I'm gonna throw this in the refrigerator, and this should be nice and cool by the time our burgers are done getting cooked. Now we are finally on the home stretch. I was debating whether I should do it or not, but I'm gonna go ahead and toast these buns. What I'm gonna be toasting the buns with and cooking the burgers with is some clarified butter that I had left over from another recipe, so I thought it would go great with this. So there's that. Once those are toasted up, it's gonna be time to get these burgers in. So right now I have my cast iron skillet pretty hot. It's about on a medium high right now. We're just gonna go ahead and throw our patty in. And I am using a little bit more butter than normal, or than I would use for a regular burger, since there is no fat in this at all. And we're gonna cook that until it gets a nice crust on that bottom side, and then we'll flip it over. That's been about 2.5 minutes. Let's go ahead and flip it. Got a nice little crust on it. And it should only take about another 2.5 minutes. Should be a wrap. So let's go ahead and flip it. Now we're going to go ahead and add a couple pieces of cheese. And this is American. This is not the processed American cheese. This is real American cheese. I'm going to go ahead and turn this off and just go ahead and let it melt naturally. So let's go ahead and get this black bean burger made. I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of this mayonnaise sauce on the bottom. And that's going to help these bean sprouts kind of stick to it. I figured might as well go hippie on this one. So got our bean sprouts on. Get our burger on. A little bit more sauce on this. Let's go with a lot of onions on that. A tomato. And that is a done deal. I'm going to go ahead and take a couple pictures and get down to this taste test. So that's what the final product looked like. You know what? I'm actually pretty excited to get down into this. So I do want to thank Death Before Dishonor for requesting this. Let me go ahead and smash this down so I can get my mouth all the way around this. Smells good. Kind of has that little taco kind of a seasoning to it. Now, you almost might not have known that this was meatless. I'm not even lying. This is a good burger. I think I can see myself doing this again. I'm telling you, very good. Give this a shot. If you're looking for a vegetarian option or something like that for a burger, definitely get down with this. I'd like to thank you guys for stopping by No Hippie Barbecue. I appreciate it. Comment, subscribe, and I'm out.